Senate Committee on Health, Education, Labor, and Pensions will please come to order. Today we're holding a confirmation hearing on Brigadier General Mitchell Zais to be Deputy Secretary of the Department of Education, James Blue to be Assistant Secretary for Planning, Evaluation, and the Policy Development at the Department of Education, Cato Scanlon to be Solicitor of the Department of Labor, Preston Rutledge to be Assistant Secretary of Labor for the Employee Benefits Security Administration at the Department of Labor. Senator Murray and I will each have an opening statement. Senator Hatch wants to come by, Mr. Rutledge, to introduce you. He's presiding over the writing of the tax bill, so whenever he comes, I'm going to stop whatever I'm doing and let him make comments about you, and then we'll proceed. After Senator Murray and I have our opening statements, we'll each have an opportunity to ask. We'll have a round of 5 minutes. Well, we'll hear from the nominees, and then we'll have a round of 5-minute questions. I'm glad the committee has the opportunity to hear from these important nominees, and we welcome them, and we welcome their families who are here. I especially welcome the nominee for the position of Deputy Education Secretary. If confirmed, General Zais will be Secretary DeVos's number 2 at the department. And it brings back some very fond memories for me because President Bush gave me the freedom to recruit David Kearns, who was the CEO of Xerox, to be in that position, General Zais, when I was Education Secretary. I knew it would be hard to persuade him because he was one of the country's leading chief executives of a major corporation. And his friends said, why would you take all of the abuse to take a secondary position in a small department? And President Bush recruited him. They were both World War II veterans, respected one another. David came on board. He had such enthusiasm, skill, and leadership that all the employees loved him. He found a great many career employees who, as you and I discussed, who were just looking forward to that kind of leadership, as I'm sure you will find, and he helped to recruit a distinguished team. I used to talk about him, and I still do. When I was running for president in 1995, something I didn't succeed in, I was in Utah, and I was talking about David Kearns and what a fine person he was. I thought I made a pretty good speech, and after I finished, a lady came up to me and said, "That was a wonderful speech. Now I know who ought to be president of the United States." And I said, "Well, thank you." And she said, "Yeah, David Kearns." So good luck to you. That's an important position, and I know that you'll be a valuable and important part of the leadership following your confirmation. You have broad background. You've been the chief state superintendent for South Carolina's public schools. You've spent 10 years as a college president. You were a member of the South Carolina Commission on Higher Education, a subject that this committee will be turning its attention to shortly and has been working on for the last 3 or 4 years. And after 31 years in the U.S. Army, you retired as a brigadier general. You were nominated on October 5. On October 30, the committee received your paperwork. November 9, the Office of Government Ethics paperwork, including public financial disclosure and ethics agreement. James Blue is nominated for an important position to help the Secretary develop policies at the department, help manage the budget, ensure that programs are working as intended. Especially important since we've just completed, not long ago, a major restructuring of the Elementary and Secondary Education Act, and implementing that as Congress wrote it will be a major task of the department and of yours. For the last month, Mr. Blue has been special assistant to the Education Secretary. For 20 years, he's advocated improving educational opportunities for families and children by overseeing grants to low-income, high-risk schools. He was nominated September 28. On October 10, we received his ethics paperwork. November 2nd, we received his committee paperwork. We have 2 important Labor Department nominees. Cato Scanlon has been nominated to serve as the Labor Department Solicitor. She'll be involved in every area of department's work, from regulations to litigation. The department is reviewing 2 Obama administration rules that, in my opinion, need to be fixed. First, the overtime rule. My concerns are the rapid rate of increase. The salary threshold was set to double overnight, it seemed, and the harm it would cause staff at nonprofits, at church camps, students at colleges and universities. And second, the fiduciary rule will make it harder for many middle-income Americans to get retirement and financial aid they need. Ms. O'Scanlan is a partner in the Washington, D.C. law firm Kirkland & Ellis, where her practice focuses on employment and labor law. She was nominated October 15. We received her ethics paperwork October 17, her help paperwork on 2017. Preston Rutledge is nominated for Assistant Secretary for Employee Benefit Security Administration, where he will help administer and enforce Title I of the Employee Retirement Income Security Act, which protects the interests of Americans participating in employee pension and welfare benefit plans. He serves as Senior Tax and Benefits Counsel for the U.S. Senate Finance Committee under Chairman Hatch. He previously served as a Senior Tax Law Specialist at the IRS, Senior Technical Reviewer in the Qualified Pension Plans Branch of the IRS Office of Chief Counsel. He was nominated October 16. We received his committee paperwork October 25th. His ethics paperwork on the 30th. I look forward to hearing from our witnesses. Senator Murray.